Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in this flow series we will understand how to call Autolaunched flow through the record trigger flow in Salesforce. Now in video of introduction to Autolaunched flow we have seen in Salesforce the Autolaunched flow cannot run itself. It needs to be called by another tool such as Flow, Apex, Process Builders and REST APIs. The video link I have given in description box, you can go through it. There I have detailed explain what is Autolaunched flow in Salesforce. But in this video we will take a scenario and using that scenario I will explain how we can call the Autolaunched flow using the record trigger flow in Salesforce. So for that watch the video till end and don't miss any step, and if you are new to our channel hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so whenever we post a new video you will get an update. Now in this video first we will understand the use case, that means the scenario, and using that scenario we will create the Autolaunched flow and record trigger flow in Salesforce. Before moving ahead, here is very big announcement for the Salesforce geekers. We recently launched a Salesforce admin training course. In that, we explain every concept in a simple and easy to understand way so you can learn step by step with the confidence. So this course is for beginner to the advanced level. In that we have covered 10 modules. You will get lifetime access. So here you can see, here we have covered 10 modules: introduction to Salesforce, Salesforce navigation and setup. After that Salesforce user management. Then we also have covered Salesforce apps, object and tabs. After that the Salesforce fields and formulas, UI customization in Salesforce. After that Salesforce reports and dashboards, Salesforce data management and Salesforce flows. So in this course we have covered everything from beginner to the advanced level. So if you are serious about launching your Salesforce career, check out the course now. We have provided the link in the description box. You can go through it. Now let's jump to the topics. So here we need to call Autolaunched flow through the record trigger flow. And what is the purpose of record trigger flow? The record trigger flow will run when account is created and will create the related contacts. After creating the related contacts, from the record trigger flow we need to call Autolaunched flow where we will create the related opportunity of that particular account. That means in the record trigger flow we will create related contact when the account is created, and then by calling the Autolaunched flow we will create the related opportunity of that particular account. So without any delay, let's jump to the Salesforce org. So I am navigating back. Click on new flow button to create the new flow. Click on next. And first we are going to create record trigger flow which create the related contact of account. The triggering object will be account, because when the account will get created, the related contact should be get created. So in the configure trigger, here I have selected a record is created. After that, a condition requirement. So here I am not selecting any condition, because whenever any account get created, the related contact should be also get created. Then optimize the flow for, here we need to select actions and related records, because we have seen fast field update we use when we want to update the same record or same field from the same selected object. Then actions and related records we used when we update or create related records of selected object. Then simply close this. Now here we want to create related contacts. For that, click on add element, search for the create records. Enter the label. Here I am providing create related contacts. API name will be automatically populate. And now how to set record fields value? So here I am going to select manually, then create a record for this object. Here I am going to select contact, because we are going to create contact record with related to account. Now here you can see in the set values for the contact, the last name automatically populated, because the last name is a mandatory value or required value on the contact object. So here in the last name, here I am providing triggering account and then name. That means for the last name on the contact object, whatever the name of account, that will be populated over the last name. Now here I am adding another fields. So here we can add lead source. It will be default value. So here I am adding web and then simply close this. Now you might be thinking we successfully created the flow to create the related contact of account object. But now what will happen? In the start element we provided the account is created. That means after account is created, then we added the create record element which create the contact record. But here we didn't any provided any value, like whenever the account is created, this contact should be get related to created account. So for that what we need to do? We need to add field. Click on this field, and now here we have all fields from the contact object. Then here you can see here we have relationship fields, and in that relationship fields we have account ID, which is the lookup field on the contact object which relate to account. So here I am selecting account ID, and then in the value we need to select triggering account and then ID. So here we have account ID, select this one. Now we can close this, save the flow. So here I am providing create contact record trigger flow. Flow API name will be automatically populate, and then click on save. Now let me add the first name in the contact object. So here we have last name. Let me add the first name. But now here you can see in the account object we don't have or any value like we can reference to the first name. So here I am providing hard coded value automated contact. And now when the contact will be get created, what will be the first name or last name? The first name will be automated contact, and the last name will be whatever the account name, that account name will be get reference to last name. So for example, we create the account as Alex Anderson. First name is the automated contact, and then last name will be Alex Anderson, and full name will be automated contact Alex Anderson. Now simply close this. Here I am clicking on save. And now let's check whether when we create the account record, the related contact gets created or not. For that, here I am activating this flow. Navigate to the account object. In the app launcher, search for the account. Here I am creating new account. In the account name, here I am providing test record trigger flow. Then which fields we need to fill? And then simply click on save. Our account is created with the test record trigger flow. Now as you scroll down, here you can see in the related tab the contact get created. As I open this contact, click on details, and now here you can see the name is populated as automated contact test record trigger flow, and then the account name is record trigger flow. After that the lead source is web, and that's it. So in this way, using record trigger flow, we have created related contact of account automatically. Now let's create the Autolaunch flow to create the related opportunities of account. So for that, let's navigate to the flow builder, navigate back, click on new flow, start from scratch, next, and now here we need to select Autolaunch flow with no trigger, then click on create. Now first we need to create text variable which will be reference to the account ID. For that, click on new resource. In the resource type, variable, API name, here I am providing record ID. Make sure when we referencing any record ID, the API name should be exactly like this, because if we mistake an API name, it will be not get accepted. So here in the data type, here I am selecting text and then available for input, and then click on done. So here you can see under the variables we created record ID variable which is the empty variable. And now what is the use of this variable? So this record ID, which is the empty variable, will be used to take account ID from the record trigger flow. Now here we are going to create the opportunity record. For that, click on add element, search for the create record element, click on it, provide the label. Here I am providing create related opportunities. The API name will be automatically populate. Then scroll down, how to set records fields value. So here I am selecting manually, select the object. So here I am going to select for which object we are going to create records, opportunity. And now here you can see set fields value for the opportunity, close date, name and stage automatically populated because these three fields are the mandatory fields on the opportunity object. So here we need to set values for the close date. You can provide hard-coded date, but here I will create the formula. And to create the formula, here you can see, here we have new resource, click on it. In the resource type, select formula. API name will be close date. You can provide any name. Here we don't need to follow any naming convention, but only when we provide the API name, there should be not any white space, or if there any white space, then we need to provide underscore between them. Now the data type will be date. In the formula, here I am providing today plus 15. That means what this formula will return. So for example, this opportunity is created on 1st of January. Now the close date will be after 15 days when this opportunity will get created. So the opportunity is created on 1st of January, then the close date will be 15th of January. Check the syntax and then click on done. Provide the name. So here I am providing. Now this name also we will take from the record trigger flow. For that, here I am creating new resource. Resource type will be variable name. So here I am providing name. Data type will be text and then available for input. Then click on done. Stage, you can provide default stage. So here I am providing prospecting and then simply close this. Now you might be thinking, we also created the record ID, where we need to add this record ID. So again open this create record, click on add field. Now as you click on this field, you will see all fields from the opportunity object, and as you scroll up, here you can see, here also we have relationship fields, and here we have account ID, which is the lookup field on the opportunity object which relate the account object. So here I am selecting this one, and then in the value we need to select record ID variable that we created. And now simply close this. Click on save. So here I am providing Autolaunched flow to create opportunity. The flow API name will be automatically populate. Then click on save. Now again navigate to the record trigger flow, because we know that to execute the Autolaunched flow, we need to call this flow from the other automations. So before that, we need to activate this flow, because if we don't activate this flow, then we cannot call this flow in other automations. So we have activated this flow. Navigate to the record trigger flow that we created. So here we created create contacts record trigger flow. Here I am opening this flow. Now here we need to add Autolaunched flow as a subflow. For that, click on this add element, search for this subflow. So here we have subflow, click on it. Now here we need to search the label that we provided for the Autolaunched flow. So here we provided create. So here we provided Autolaunched flow to create opportunity. So here I am selecting this one. Enter the label. Here I am providing call Autolaunched flow. API name will be automatically populate. Scroll down and now here you can see, now here we have set input values for the name and record ID. So as you enable this, click on enter value, scroll down, here you can see here we have triggering account, click on this and then search for the name. Select the account name and then scroll down for the record ID, enable this, click on enter value, click on triggering account and then search for the ID. So here we have account ID and then simply close this. Now what we did here, let me open this. So the name variable and record ID variable we created in the Autolaunched flow. There was this variable was empty and now for the name variable we reference the account name and then for the record ID we reference the account ID. That means whenever the account get create with the record trigger flow, this flow will call the Autolaunched flow and the opportunity will get create with relate to this account. Now let me close this. We need to save as a new version. Click on save and then click on activate the flow. Flow gets successfully activated. Now we will create the account record. For that, navigate to the account object. Click on account. Here I am creating a new account. Enter the account name. Here I am providing test Autolaunched test Autolaunched flow and record trigger flow. Click on save. Now let's check whether contact get created or not. For that, navigate to the contact object. So here I am selecting new this week list view. And now here you can see automated contact test Autolaunched flow and record trigger flow. So here I am opening this one. Click on details. The account name that we provided, then the contact name, after that lead source. And now let's check whether the opportunity also get created or not. For that, navigate to the opportunity object. From the list view, select new this week opportunity list view. And now here you can see test Autolaunched flow and record trigger flow has been successfully created. As I open this, click on details. Here you can see account name has been successfully related to this opportunity record. Stage also prospecting, and here you can see the close date is, and now here you can see the close date 8th of February 2025. Today's date is, today's current date is, let me open this. Today's current date is 24th of January. That means if you add 15 days to the 24th of January, you will get 8th of February. So in this way we have seen how we can create the related contact using record trigger flow. After creating the contact, how we can call the Autolaunched flow that we created, and in that flow we created how we can create the related opportunities with related to the account that we created in the Autolaunched, that we created in the record trigger flow. And after that we called the Autolaunched flow from the record trigger flow to create the related opportunities. I hope whatever I explained you understood that. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so whenever we post a new video, you will get an update. Thank you.